I'm sorry. I didn't think he was going to do that time. He barked as I pressed play. Yay. So I'm here in bed with my dogs. Today's been a hard day, so I'm just recording from bed. I did try recording from earlier from my camera, which is located in the corner right there. I can't point properly from here, but right there. And the battery died. Is old school digital, and it requires AA batteries constantly, and I need to upgrade. That's camera's probably like, you know, a quadrillion years old. I'm serious. It's old. It's very old. But it's what I have. So topic today is pretty much update on my dystonia, my recent events type of thing. So first of all, I've noticed that one of my last videos about the embarrassment of dystonia got almost 100 views. So I wasn't expecting that much view. I was just I do these videos mostly for myself, for if people have questions, like families or friends or people I barely know, but like, what's dystonia? What do you go through? I'm like, instead of repeating myself, I'd be like, just go to YouTube, check out my channel. It's there. That's pretty much why I mostly do these videos. It's not for views, but thank you for viewing. So that's on that part. Today's episode, it's actually mixed up with today's episode combined with last night's episode, and then what happened in previous couple of days and weeks and whatnot. So fair warning, once again, as I warned you in my last video, and a little bit for that, my English is not that great. I do slur a lot. It's the only language I know, but I do have speech problem, and it's gotten worse with the episodes, and every time I have an episode, it's just worse. So bear with me, and I do apologize for that. I apologize if my dogs decided to go haywire. I want to be lovey-dovey. My dog, the smallest one, has been sick for probably almost a year, give or take a few months. So he'd had help in the past with vets, but it was the pills, medicines, the treatments were temporary. So I just sent him to a new vet 2 weeks ago, and new medicine, and he's doing a lot better now. So he's bit hyper and puppy-like. So he was peeling his skin off for a long time. So if you do see him, he looks weird. It's because he did used to pull his own skin out. Not skin. Ooh, sorry. Hair. I'm so sorry. He pulled his own hair out. I'm petting his skin, so I was thinking skin, but I meant hair. Oh my Lanta. Okay. Continue on with dystonia. Okay. So last night episode, similar to today's episode, I was just in my kitchen last night around 9ish, give or take, and just drawing on a canvas, and my episode started. I did notice my fingers getting tingly before it happened. I was just ignoring it. When I'm home, I ignore it for the most part, especially if I'm staying still, sitting down, laying down. I just let it happen because there's nothing really else to do. But I was sitting down in the kitchen, and it just started like it normally does, and my whole right side decided to malfunction. I call it malfunction, where it just stiffs and spaz up whichever way it wants to go. And of course, the usual way it goes is backwards. Now, I did mention in the past videos where when it gets really intense, I can't breathe. But what it feels like when that happens, I think I explained in the last video. Sorry I repeat myself, but what does happen is it feels like if somebody's giving me one big giant bear hug and preventing me from breathing. It's like squeezing my muscles and basically just like wearing a corset. A really tight corset. Like unbreathable tight corset. Like you get to breathe a little bit. Oh, I did warn you. It feels like that. I completely like stiff up. My posture is great at that moment when I can't breathe until it starts folding back. But I just stiff up, body goes straight for a second, can't breathe, and then eventually it starts to fold backwards. Just basically like it'll go backwards This time, this one just stood still pretty much, but the right side went backwards. So my back is in pain. My shoulder area is in pain. Today, writing, because I'm right-handed, was not pleasant. I actually had to have help at one point today. Just fill out simple things like my names and address and stuff like that. It was very complicated. I had to use two hands, one for moving and the other one for pressing down. It does kind of get difficult. Puka. Llama boy. Llama. 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 You look like a llama. Stop it. He barks and growls pretty much anything. Right now he's literally just barking and growling at the TV. That's all he's barking at. Like, he does this every time. Boogie, stop. Okay, come on. Hey, hi. Say, I'm causing all the fuss. Say, I'm causing all the fuss. Okay, back to my story. So, that happened last night, and then, today when I was waiting in the waiting room to see my doctor, see a doctor, not my doctor, but a doctor, I was waiting there for an hour and a half, because the doctor was running behind, and I felt it coming on, and usually I assess my location, because I have enough time to assess where to go, where to hide, to have my episode, out of view, the least attention, perhaps a room or even a bathroom, but unfortunately it was a small little office. The door led to an elevator and a stairs one way or the other, so that was not the best place for me. For obvious reasons, sorry. Pookie, stop. Come on, stop, Puka. So, stop. So, after a while, I couldn't really assess anymore because there's no place to go. I had to let the nurses know at the station that I was about to have a seizure. I did say seizure, and they got me to a room before I completely lost control. I was starting to wobble and had a hard time walking. They had to support me up. My arm was going as they took me out of the waiting room into a room. And then by the time I lay down, that's where I started. Cookie. I'm just going to press pause for a second. Okay, I wish I could say he's done, but no. It's all the time. Every single day. Let me see, I can burrito him. I call that burrito when I cover him when I put a blanket. He falls asleep under there. Nope. He's having it today. Weirdo. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So they got me back to the room, and I have episodes now. Usually, people hear this, seizures. They think the typical epileptic seizures. Now, granted, dystonia, PNES is not a typical epileptic seizures. So, and this said in the papers that I filled out right when I got there what my medical history is and my problem and stuff like that. And it just says, the first one, it says dystonia, PNES. I was putting both of them together, so it clarifies things. But, told you it wasn't done. Look, just, do you see that? Do you see? Hold on. Let me solve this little problem we have here. Ta-da! Turn the TV off. Problem solved. Ta-da. Okay. Yeah, he done. So, nurses was helping me get on the table, and I was helping my episode. They had a doctor come in, well, the nurse was coming in, and I was having my episode. My back was folding, the usual stuff that happens. My leg was dangly, so it didn't have any support, but it was going up anyway, so it's not like I could control my legs anyway, so it's folding up on its own. They had me on one of those, just the regular tables you have at clinics where they just do an exam, so it's not like a bed or anything like that, and it was an awkward position. all I hear them coming inside, a doctor came inside and everything saying turn her over, and I'm like, I can't talk, but when I say a word I tend to repeat it. So I try to keep my words very small and tiny because I can't really talk very well, especially not breathing. They kept asking for my name. I said my name once and that's it because I couldn't breathe. They said call 911. I said no. I was like no, 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 no. Eventually they said put her on her side when my episode started subsiding, and I told them no. They didn't try to control me. Like, you know, you're not supposed to control anybody with seizure. No seizures though. But they tried to manipulate my body to where I'm not going to fall off the table, which is understandable. But they were telling, the doctor was telling the nurses to put me on my side. However, with my particular episodes, I'm not sure how it is with people with dystonia. I've seen a few videos. I can't really watch those videos. I watched them a few times when I got diagnosed and I was done. A lot of people were sitting down, laying down, stuff like that. But in my situation, the way I feel and how my body reacts, putting me on the side is a bad idea because my body folds. And granted, even though I'm laying down on my back, it doesn't prevent my body from folding. However, it does help where it doesn't fold to the point where it feels like it's breaking. It just helps a little more because it can't go as far as it could if I didn't have any back support, if that makes any sense. So yeah, but you know, where I'm going with this. So it's just frustrating. It is embarrassing still, but at least I didn't have it in the front of the waiting room when nobody understands and people stress out, get scared, and that makes it worse for me, as I mentioned in the previous video. And figuring that I was around medical people, you know, people in medical profession. I'm trying to talk proper and it ain't helping here. Like I said, my speech is like, whew. So just being around medical profession, you assume that they will understand. But I do understand and comprehend the fact that a lot of people don't really put two and two together when they hear seizures, that it can be different. So I do understand that. So I'm not upset at them for anything like that. But it's just frustrating on my part that there is no way for me to let people know around me when I do have it in public. People are always taught, you know, make sure there's nothing to harm them around, put them on the side. There's always that misconception, which is not true. You put something in somebody's mouth, you don't never put it in. You know, you could choke, you could bite, you could hurt your teeth. You know, there's so many things could go wrong there. But anyways, there's just so many misconceptions that of regular, typical, not regular, but a typical seizure. I just wish I could afford like a service dog, or even have my big dog, who's only about 2 years old, Rue. He's a German Shepherd Boxer Husky mix, so even him being trained as a service dog, he does respond to me. He does respond to me when I'm not feeling well, when I need help. He does respond to me on his own. He just picked it on his own. We never trained him or anything, so he is teachable in that aspect. But it costs like mucho dinero, like $1,000, I believe, something like that, to train him to go out the courses. But we can't afford that. We can't afford to buy a service dog. We cannot even afford to have another dog in this house. We live in a tiny, tiny house. It's a 1-bedroom, or if you want to call the second one a bedroom, it's a 1 1/4 bedroom, because that sucker is like small. It's a closet, which is currently my bunny's room. So can't train my bunny to be a service bunny, so that doesn't help me at all. But or, you know, just I might invest like in one of those medical tags or bracelet. You know, people that is like allergic to penicillin or something, I might just put details on there. Something. I'm rambling at this point. But okay, so that's today's episode, last night episodes. Throughout the week, I've been keeping a lot of episodes to myself because one, they haven't really been major enough to alert anybody. Like my episode last night, my boyfriend goes, "You haven't had it in one while." I was like, about that. I stopped telling him when I have it daily because it's pointless. I it's such a norm for me at this point that it's like telling somebody every time I sneeze or every time I go to sleep or, you know, every time I eat. It's such a norm that it's like, really, is there a point to tell people all the time when it happens? Now, if it's severe or serious that I'm injured or I'm in pain. Now he just barked at a reflection on the TV. It scared him, apparently. Come here. Why you just meow? Anyways. So, like I said, it's a norm. And if it was something severe that was injured and in pain or anything like that, I'll tell him, but it's pointless. Usually day by day, I'll have small ones. Usually towards the end of the days when I start getting the big ones. Very rarely I do get a big one during the day, but it does happen occasionally, but it's not to the point where I'm injured or need to tell anybody. Most of the time during the day, if I have one, I'm at home. I know when I'm not feeling well enough to go drive, so I don't go anywhere. Or it's before I go anywhere, and even if I have a big episode, I make sure I'm okay to leave the house anyways, but for the most part, I keep it to myself. There is nothing else for me to do besides keep it to myself. I feel like if I continue telling people the same thing over and over again, it just gets tiring. Like, would you please stop? We get it. You have episodes. Duh. Like right now I'm injured from the combination of last night and today's episode. Plus, for the past couple of nights, I get stiffness and my body wants to fold a little bit. So it's a combination, and I guess last week I did the same thing to my left side. In the middle of the night while I'm sleeping, I was not aware. I probably was out cold during that, and I just woke up in severe pain. So it's just like to the point where it's happening, I'm not even aware of it anymore. Before it used to happen when I'm sleeping, I woke up during it, but at times I take melatonin, so you know, during the night I probably had an episode when I was on that. I rarely take melatonin, but I'm guessing like one of those nights where I took medicine to help sleep. It happened, but well, I don't know what else to say. This thing is like longer than I expected. I blame Puka. I totally blame Puka. I guess he doesn't like that. Puka, you don't like that? Puka. 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 Okay, look at him. Puka. Okay. Oh, this dog. Alright. So, leave a comment if you want. Questions if you want. If you leave a comment, please be nice. I know my hair is a mess. Don't comment on that. You know, it is what it is. So, but I guess that's that. Bye.